Hi there, I'm Jeffrey Schmidt, and today I'm working on an alt-rock sort of track that I'm using to test out my latest bass guitar, which is the Sire V5 5-string. And so I wanted to share that with you in case you're looking at the Sire V5 or the Sire P5, which I'm going to also compare it to, which is my favorite bass up until now. So up until now, I've been recording quite a bit with this Sire P5 that I got about a year ago. I'm really liking it. And on the other hand, it's a great instrument to support a track, and it fits right into most tracks really well. But I was starting to want bass tones that have a bit more bite to it, a bit more treble. So I started looking at jazz basses. And so I saw a few days back a B-stock on Thomann over here in Europe, Sire V5. Most of the Sire V5s, all of the Sire V5s in fact, on Thomann have lead times of 9 to 12 weeks. And I saw this one available as a B-stock, and so I jumped on the opportunity to order one and to try it out. So that's what I'm doing. As predicted, this bass definitely gives me that extra bite when I want it. And you'll see that on these tracks as we listen to them. So what I did for this video, and to test out these two basses for myself, to decide whether I want to keep the V5, what it offers me compared to the P5, and what options it offers me just within its own little domain. I recorded an alt-rock track, that you heard in the beginning. I recorded the P5 a couple times, and I recorded the V5 a few times with different options. And that'll allow you to hear what these basses sound like in a mix, which is often lacking on the internet, I find, and which I find that you can hear how these basses sound soloed on many channels out there. But I think that's something that's missing, and that's something that I'd like to offer my listeners is what instruments sound like in a mix. It takes more effort, but on the other hand, it's sorely lacking, and it's an important element, especially for bass guitar when you decide whether you want an instrument or not. So what you heard on the intro was the V5 with the neck pickup on full, and with the volume of the bridge pickup rolled back a tiny bit and the tone rolled back a tiny bit. And that was kind of my favorite spot for the V5. But in addition to that, I'm going to provide you with the opportunity to listen to some more extreme settings on the V5, just so that whether you're looking at the V5 yourself or whether you're interested in picking up a jazz bass like I was, this might allow you to hear what the different possibilities of a jazz bass can do for you in a mix. So there are 6 different bass tracks that I recorded. I recorded the P5 with volume and tone on max. I recorded a P5 track with the tone rolled off a slight amount that I thought just basically to taste. Then we have the intro track, which was the V5 with the volumes and tone to taste that I just described before. But also I recorded all of the 2 volumes and the tone on maximum, so that you hear what the V5 sounds like with all of the volumes maxed out and the tone maxed out. And then a track with only the bridge pickup with the tone on maximum, and a track with only the neck pickup with the tone on maximum. So let's listen to those tracks, which might take some time. You can check out the timestamps in the description below if you want to jump around. And on the other side of all that listening, I'll give you my thoughts. Oh, and I forgot to mention, as will be indicated in the description below, all of these tracks were recorded with the same settings on the Tech 21 VT Bass DI. So we have here, just so that you can hear the natural tone of the bass as best possible, I had all of the EQ totally flat, set to neutral. We have the drive here set at about 2 o'clock, so sort of a mid-level gain. And we have the blend set at about 9 o'clock. So you're hearing mostly the natural signal of the bass, with maybe a third of the signal being the distorted signal blended in, which I find a really nice setting for a lot of rock styles that are not too intense. Thanks for listening through those tracks. If you're enjoying this video or getting something out of it, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this or support the channel, please subscribe to my channel so that we can help the channel grow. So what are my thoughts on all of these different bass tracks? Well, first of all, my first conclusion is that I really am happy that I picked up this passive jazz bass. I personally gravitate towards passive instruments, both guitar and bass. This V5 really does give me a much more flexible instrument than the P5, which, like I said, I really have been enjoying, but just feel like I wanted more variety. First of all, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I really like just the sound of the neck pickup on the V5. It's a bit brighter than I thought it would be. Just the neck pickup by itself with the tone all the way up is really a nice sound that is somewhat comparable to the P5 sound, but it has a bit more bass and a little bit more treble than the P5 sound. So that's great. It doesn't have too much bite though, which is of course where the bridge pickup comes in. We heard as well a track of only the bridge pickup, which I think is probably the least usable track, but at the same time it's instructive. I wanted to see what it sounded like in track. And just the bridge pickup on the V5 sounds quite a bit like there's just another guitar in the track, which I think during the softer sections of this tune was actually pretty cool, actually pretty usable. During the most intense segment, the third segment of this song though, I really felt that like there was an extreme lack of bass when everything got loud. And that's where I liked the bridge pickup only the least. But otherwise, I think it was definitely an interesting experiment. And for those of you who are not familiar with the sound of a bridge pickup of a jazz bass by itself in a rock tune, you've been served. And then, of course, we had the track with all of the volumes and tone of the V5 on maximum, which was nice in some ways, but I found like it had a little bit too much bite for a lot of the tune, which is why I rolled back on my favorite V5 track. I decided to roll back the bridge pickup and the tone just slightly. And then also there's a track of the P5 with the tone rolled back just slightly that I also think I liked a little bit better than the P5 with the tone on maximum. And then overall, I think that I liked the P5 the best in the loudest section of the song. I think it really blends with all of the guitars really well. But on the other hand, during the softer sections, I really liked the intro V5 track with the other 3 sections of the song most. It gave it a little bit more bite and made the bass stand out a little bit better. And so when the guitars get softer, it really made the bass stand out more, and that was kind of a nice contrast compared to the loudest section where the guitars stand out more. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great one, and cheers.